I swear to God, we are no longer Sunderland. We're Sundrawland, aren't we? Five draws on the spin, isn't it? Seem to love a draw at the minute, don't we? Sunderland obviously created the majority of whatever play there was in the final third tonight, because the stats say that West Brom had 2 shots and didn't have any on target, but of course we only had 2 shots on target the whole game. Sunderland obviously had the chances. I mean, just because the shot isn't on target, for example, doesn't mean it isn't a good chance. And obviously we did have some decent chances across the game, but we just didn't have the quality in the final third to convert any of them. Obviously there was some controversy around the second half when Wilson Isidore scored a goal that was deemed to be offside. I haven't watched it back. I do understand why the referee did disallow the goal. If it's offside the other way, I'm screaming for that to be given. It's just kind of frustrating when goals like Peru's goal for Leeds against Sunderland is allowed to stand, and that's more offside than what Wilson Isidore's goal tonight was. But, you know, I've said my piece about the officials in this league. I think they're absolutely dreadful. And for a majority of teams, and again, the ref tonight I thought was one that, again, wanted to make it about himself. And something else that did annoy me, and this isn't a dig at West Brom, actually, it's just a dig at the officials. Because if you're going to get away with this as a goalkeeper, why wouldn't you do it? It's just natural. But it was the fact that their keeper, about 4 or 5 times in the second half, was taking forever to kick the ball, forever to kick the ball, forever to kick the ball. And I get it from a West Brom point of view why you're doing it. You're doing it to try and slow the momentum of the game down and get yourselves more likely to get a point. And fair play to them, it worked. But the referee kept allowing it and wasn't booking them for time wasting, because Anthony Patterson at Luton and Simon Moore at QPR both got booked for the exact same sort of situation. And for some reason the referee booked them. But then in the games when teams come up here and have tried to time waste, where's their yellow cards then? Why am I not seeing it for them? Oh, but I'm not going to make it about the officials. Sunderland should have had enough chances and should have been able to win the game, you know. And it's 5 draws on the spin now. I suppose this draw in isolation on its own isn't the worst draw in the world. It's just the problem is you've done it off the back of 4 draws before then. And West Brom aren't a bad team, by the way. West Brom, obviously, they haven't got... I think Thomas Asante was their top scorer last year, and they obviously don't have that now. But they're a team that's going to be battling to be in and around the playoffs, and wouldn't surprise me if they finished in them, because they've got a very good manager in Carlos Corberán. He knows how to set a team up. He knows how to make them stubborn to break down. And you could tell West Brom came up here to get a point. But again, I can't complain at them for doing that because it worked. You know, so it's just frustrating, this, isn't it? Because obviously we're now 3rd, and there's a good chance we could be 4th. Coming time tomorrow. Thanks, Coventry, by the way. You always turn up against us, then you have to lose against Burnley. It's stuff like that that annoys me. But hey ho, we had, you know, the last few games, the draws that are probably more costly than this one are probably the likes of your Coventry game, and you could argue Millwall in the way that game ended, and probably even Preston's more annoying than this. Even though tonight was frustrating because we had chances to win the game, and obviously we had a disallowed goal. But yeah, fair play to West Brom. They came up here for a point and they managed to get it. So it just kind of, I wouldn't say it puts pressure on for Friday, because I don't think it's fair to say it does, but it definitely heightens anticipation for Friday in some senses, because I said we could have done, I didn't think tonight was a must-win game, I thought it was a must-not-lose game, but I did say we could have done with a win, and obviously we didn't end up winning, we ended up drawing 0-0. The only remote positive I can take from it, really, and it wasn't I think Sunderland played badly, I don't think we did, I think we dictated a lot of the game, we just didn't have the quality in the final third to break West Brom down. Well, we did, it was just disallowed. But, you know, but the point is, in previous games, we would end up stupidly losing that game 1-0 because of a daft mistake, because sometimes in the past, because we haven't converted our chances, has meant we had to lose the game. So at the very least, we have got something out of it, but obviously West Brom barely went forward, really, in terms of creating actual shots and actual efforts. So, yeah, we'll just see what happens on Friday. But it would be so Sunderland to go to Sheffield United now and win on Friday. Sooner or later, the draw streak we could do with it ending, and not with a defeat, by the way, we mean with a win. But we'll wait and see. Look, let's get through Friday first and see what happens. And yes, we're probably likely going to be 4th at this time tomorrow. But at the same time, you know, December's on paper looks a lot better than what, say, Friday night's game does. So let's just make sure we're staying in the conversation for the moment. Because, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, we need to not lose our heads at this. Be frustrated by all means, because it comes from high standards. We know what this team is capable of. But I don't want people start saying, oh, top two's gone. I don't want anyone saying, oh, we'll be lucky to get playoffs at this rate, because for me that's infuriatingly fickle. At the end of the day, dips in form happen with every team in this league. Every team. It may not feel like it at the minute with Burnley, Sheffield United, and Leeds probably winning tomorrow night. But I promise you, those teams will suffer dips in form, just like we will get back in form again in terms of wins. So let's wait and see what happens. Friday's a tough challenge, no doubt about it. And obviously, if we don't win Friday, then it's 6 without a win, you could say. But let's get to Friday first. Let's see what happens. It would be so Sunderland to go to Sheff United and win, as I've said. But yeah, sorry guys, I am waffling. And as I said, I'm not trying to come out across having a dig at any fans. It's just the frustration of recent games, but also frustration of fans losing their heads when, you know, we're still in a decent position, but well, you can say more than decent for what we expected at the start of the season. But obviously, I am aware we are capable of better. So yeah, anyway, I shall see you guys on Friday. I'm trying to get tickets for Friday night, but if I can't go, then I will be watching the game one way or the other. And as you know, I'm trying to get 6k subscribers. So if you watch the video, you're not a regular subscriber, and you think I've earned a sub from you, then hit the sub button, like, comment, share around, as long as it's respectful in the comments. And yeah, see you guys Friday. And that was 6 draws in a row, probably. Or 5, or what is it, 5 without, 6 without a win. Hopefully not. I'm with the lads.